When Jensen speaks, the markets, I guess, listen. Nvidia is up 3% early on Jensen Huang's reveal in Taiwan yesterday. Tesla is also up about 1% in the early going, but both those stocks and the markets trimmed their early gains as business reports gave conflicting evidence of where the economy and inflation are headed. But the bond market, the yields are down big time. Last time I checked, 9 basis points. Well, that's on the 10-year. China is getting lots of headlines this morning for their improving economy, including their car business. This is from Barron's. Electric vehicle sales are recovering in China. That's some good news for automotive investors starting a new month. Hybrids, however, are still outpacing all electric vehicle sales. That can make the coming months tougher on all electric EV giant Tesla. Well, I don't know. This is an open question. I'm really going to have to dig into the hybrid story, right? Some of you mentioned in the comments that you're not as convinced either that that hybrids are a completely dead issue. I continue to say, as of now, I'm telling you that I think hybrids will go the way of ICE in about 3 to 4 years. On Sunday, Chinese EV leader BYD reported sales numbers for May. The company delivered 330,488 passenger vehicles. Of that, 146,395 were battery electric vehicles or BEVs, with 184 hybrids. Total vehicle deliveries grew 6% and over April and 38% from a year ago. Good for BEV. For BYD. Their BEV sales grew 8% compared with April and 22% from a year ago. And their hybrid sales grew 4% compared with April and up 54% from a year ago. Jim Farley, speaking of hybrids, we mentioned that Jim Farley said yesterday that he thinks that hybrids will still be a thing years from now, that it's not a bridge product. Jim Farley did an interview yesterday where he was asked about his partnership with Elon Musk. He said that 100,000 people have applied for the converter to use the superchargers, but they've only shipped a couple of thousand. How hard is it to make a supercharger converter? Seems like that would ramp fairly quickly. He said that Elon and he have mutual respect and that they do text back and forth. There you go. All right, this is from Herbert Ong early this morning. He says, continuing with China news, Baidu's V20 Tesla map is now out in their latest video. Baidu conducted initial testing and is now releasing actual road testing videos. Baidu Map V20 now recognizes Chinese traffic lights and counts down the seconds. New features include speeding and bus lane notifications. And then this from Ray for Tesla this morning. Huawei CEO Yu Chendong says that Tesla has massive fleet data advantages and has been working on FSD for a long time. Well, that's true. The system is really good. Since FSD is unavailable in China so far, I should put that in. Huawei sent engineers to California and to Canada to test out FSD. He believes that Huawei's autonomous system is slightly superior to FSD in China, the claim of which now obviously deviates from his early well ahead claim. So apparently he's been saying that they were well ahead and now just says they are ahead. And I think on both of those counts, he would be spouting nonsense. Mario Nafal says that Gina Carano, this is a quote of Gina Carano on actually the Tucker Carlson show. If Elon wasn't protecting free speech, we'd be in deep trouble. I think we're living in a time where such an incredible person is fighting for free speech on the biggest level. I mean, if we did not have what Elon Musk is doing right now, so many of us would be in deep trouble. I respect what he's doing, and I don't know why he's doing it. So CB_Doge, which is also known as Cat, he says that Elon was asked, if someone offers you $44 billion for X right now, would you take it? Elon Musk, no, I don't care about the money. It's really important to have a source of truth. So there you go. There's the reason why. Sawyer Merritt's reporting this morning about Toyota. Toyota's found to have falsified data and skirted impact safety tests while applying to certify 7 past and current vehicles. A government investigation has found. What is it with Toyota and Volkswagen? Always cheating and man, Toyota submitted faulty data during pedestrian safety tests for 3 current models and used modified test vehicles during collision safety tests for another 4 models. The Japanese Transport Ministry. This is not even the U.S. This is the Japanese Transport Ministry investigating them. The company was among 5 companies, including Honda and Mazda, found to have problems with their safety certifications. But apparently Toyota led the pack on that one. All right, this is Randy Kirk. Please hit the like and the notify and the, all that stuff. You want to join up and become a regular user. You want to also join Patreon. That'd be fantastic. So we will have Brian White later today. And then, of course, good news Monday. Hopefully the news will still be good by the time we get around to it, but we'll find good news, I promise you. All right, now, what are we to make of all these reports this morning? We have 3. Please hang in there with me because this is really important if we want to try to understand the economy, although I'm not sure that when you hear the results of these 3 different reports that you'll have gained real clarity because they're all over the place. All right, let's start with the PMI. This is the Purchasing Managers Index put out by S&P. From the Wall Street Journal, new orders returned to growth in the U.S. manufacturing sector. Remember this, supporting a faster expansion in production midway through the second quarter of the year. Meanwhile, business confidence picked up, positive expectations regarding the future of the sector, contributing to the hiring of additional staff, a renewed rise in purchasing activity, and a buildup of stocks of finished goods. Meanwhile, the rate of input cost inflation quickened to the fastest in just over a year, and firms were raising their selling prices in response. Okay, so you have a pickup in activity in manufacturing, and then you have the highest rate of increase in cost inflation coming in, and the company's turning around and passing that along in terms of raising their prices. The seasonally adjusted S&P Global U.S. Manufacturing Purchasing Managers rose to 51.3% in May after having posted in line with a no change mark in April. The reading at 50 exactly. The reading signaled a modest improvement in the health of the manufacturing sector, the 4th in the past 5 months. May saw a renewed expansion in new orders, following a modest reduction in April, while customer demand improved during the month. Overall economic conditions remained muted. As such, the rate of expansion in new orders was only marginal. In fact, the rise in total new business was softer than has been seen for new export orders. That's where the business was actually picking up. The increase in new orders alongside better material availability led manufacturers to expand production at a solid pace compared to April. And but again, the really sad item was the fact that there is this increase in costs coming into the system. That is the thing that seems to be maybe on the minds of markets, as we saw the markets retreating right after this report came out. Then a little later in the morning, just about 25 minutes ago, well, 25 as I'm doing this, we had the April construction spending numbers come out. This was in Seeking Alpha. April construction spending came out at 0.1% down month over month to versus the expected increase of 0.2%. And it was down 0.2% in March. So this figure is 10% higher than a year ago, but dropping over the last 2 months. Private construction spending was at a seasonally adjusted annual rate 1.1% below the March estimate. Residential construction was actually was up 0.1%. I'm sorry, am I reading this right? Private construction, all that was okay. So private and residential were up, but non-residential construction was the thing that got the hit, down 0.3%. The estimated seasonally adjusted annual rate of public construction was also down 0.2% lower than March. All right. So we've got residential construction just slightly up. We've got overall private construction slightly up, but we also have non-residential and government construction down. Again, not a huge amount, but the overall number down after an expected increase. All right. So we've got a little contraction in the economy in the construction arena. We've got a supposed increase in manufacturing, although the Chicago numbers the other day that came out were horrible. Anyway, but then here it comes from the Institute for Supply Management, the ISM numbers. Okay. You think you know what's going on, right? Until this. Economic activity in the manufacturing sector contracted in May for the second consecutive month and the 18th time in the last 19 months, according to the manufacturing ISM report on business. The report was issued today, and here's the quote. The manufacturing PMI registered 48.7% in May, down 0.5 percentage points from the 49.2, which is also not good, percent recorded in April. The overall economy continued in expansion for the 49th month after a 1 month of contraction in April. A manufacturing PMI above 42.5% over a period of time generally indicates an expansion in the overall economy. So it's 42.5. Anything over 42.5 is an expansion. So we are sitting at expansion, but getting lower, the expansion going down. New orders index remained in contraction territory after we just heard that new orders were picking up, 45.4%. 3.7% lower than the 49% in April. The May reading of the production index was lower. The prices index registered down 3.9% compared to the reading. And the backlog of orders index also down 3 percentage points. So the whole thing was down, except for the employment index registered 51.5, up 2.5 percentage points. So they're hiring even in a contraction. So how is the economy actually doing? Well, let's see what the market has to say after all those reports are out. By the way, did you notice here I'm reporting just a little bit later now than I was. The reason for that is just like today, these three reports came out later than I would have been able to report on them. And I think it's better to push this report about a half an hour later than I have been doing. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, where is the market? So we have got the NASDAQ has recovered. It had been up well over 100 points. It went down after those initial reporting, and that was back up again, pretty much to where it was. The Dow, on the other hand, which had been going way up last week as the NASDAQ was not, now we've got the opposite taking place. Of course, this is a lot to do with Nvidia. We'll report on that in a second. But the Dow is down 36.39 with the NASDAQ up 124 and the S&P up 14. Tesla is sitting up 2.38. It has been up as much as 3.5, but it is also slightly recovering after everybody digested all three of those reports. All right, the Magnificent Seven is mixed with Google slightly down, Microsoft slightly down, Nvidia up 43.37, or about right almost 4% again. It had been up 4, then only up 3, and now back up almost 4% again. Okay, and then you've got the Cathie Wood stocks also mixed with CRISPR having a very good day today, up $3.64. That is about 8% or 7% anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at percentage-wise. We've got the Dow Jones down 0.12, the NASDAQ up 0.69%, S&P up 0.25%, and Tesla up a full 1% plus another 0.15. Okay, 1.15%. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at bonds. Where are they now? As stated, okay, they're what do you want to call it? A little bit of the froth coming off. They were down over 9 basis points, now down 8.8 basis points on the 10-year. You've got the 2-year also down 6.6 basis points, which does broaden that inversion just a little bit. The 2-month completely unchanged this morning, getting much closer to that 100 basis point difference. It is very, very close to it's like 98 basis points there. All right, so that's inversion expanding, but at the kind of recent maximum. Now, earlier in the year, I want to say maybe it was this year. I think so. Earlier this year, I think it was as much as 130, 140 basis points difference. So there is some contraction in that one. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at oil. All right, oil is down $2.21 this morning. Okay, remember, if you watched last night, you know that OPEC said they were going to continue their production cuts all the way to the end of 2025. I saw headlines all over the place saying, "Oh, well, you know, China is trying to force the price of oil up." No, Tesla. OPEC is trying to force the price of oil up. Now the price of oil is going to go crazy. And I'm thinking to myself, no, what OPEC is doing is trying to protect the range that it's in now. That's exactly what's happening. So even though they've said they're going to continue to cut oil production all the way to the end of 2025, the price of oil is down $2.24 this morning, 2.91%. Same for Brent, also down $2.09. So you've got $74.76. That is a new recent low, although again, it'll have to get under like 67 to really break into correction territory. Natural gas up 4.83% this morning to $2.71. That is getting very close to recent highs. That'll be interesting to see where that goes this morning. We have got, and maybe I'm back to having to find out what's going on with natural gas. I was kind of expecting natural gas to start retreating more going into summer. Gold up $13.40 this morning at $2,359, right in the middle of the range. Silver up 0.49% this morning. And copper up 1.33, also kind of in the range of recent trading, $4.66. You got the dollar standing tall, so holding at highs. Looking good this morning. If you want the dollar to be strong, it is right now. After those reports, I'm kind of I never have time to dig into the dollar. Maybe I need to start digging into the dollar a little more. We have got Bitcoin up 1752 this morning at 69,417, pushing up against that 70,000 number again. And then that would be everything that we report on, except going back and seeing if Tesla is continuing to be strong this morning. Well, so Tesla has retreated again. Let me just go back. Let me take a look at these numbers again for you. Because no, we have we're retreating again. Overall, the market, the NASDAQ only up 105 now. Tesla only up 1.42%. And just looking at the market leader again this morning, no, Nvidia sitting, well, they're down. Nope, they're also coming off their highs again, only up 39. Now, it's pretty good. Also, I'll take, Tesla being up $1.40. But not where it was just a few minutes ago. Okay, so that's the report this morning. Please keep in mind that we will have Brian White on later today. And I think that's all I got for you. Join Patreon. Just go down to the description. Right now, it takes only a second. Go down to the description, hit the link, go over there. $3 a month, you can handle it. It would be a big help. Thank you. It's been great talking to you.